We're here in the Heineken Green Room, Underground Arts, Philadelphia. Raekwon, the chef. I'm Dr. James Peterson. Ray, it's great to be here with you, brother, and to get a chance to meet you and build with you a little bit. I want to start with just thinking about the longevity of your career, right? So we got 22, 23 years. Can you just give us like the synopsis from Purple Tape to the Wild? When you look back over the last couple decades, I know that's a long question. When you look back over the last couple decades, give us that trajectory from the Purple Tape to the Wild.
One thing about me, I love music. I love all kind of music, and that helped my ability to rhyme better. But when I go back and think about the Purple Tape, that was when it was a fresh start for me. It was a new thing. It was something new. It was something invigorating. I was like, I wanted it so bad. So the energy was a little bit different then. And I never had a rhyme book. Never had a book.
You didn't write down any of the rhymes?
I wrote them down, but it's like I wrote them on like cups, paper plates. I was still having fun with it. And in hip-hop, one thing we all got to remember with hip-hop, it's like it starts from the lobby, then it goes where it goes. And that's just what it was for my life. So even when we was building Purple Tape and working on Wu-Tang stuff, I was still in shock. Like, yo, all I got to do is just write something that's nice, and people is going to respect it. Because of the family, the way we was moving, we was invincible. The rhymes, we had everything. Rhymes, concepts, stories. So I was around the best writers at that time. So all I had to do was just make sure I do my part. But then as we transitioned on to the Wild, now I became a writer, a great writer that wanted to target certain things for reasons now because of the politics and also because that's where I'm at as a person. You have to change, when you younger and you become more older. So having a 20-year plus run, my mind was always still developing. And I always was the type of guy that wanted to be creative. Because if you don't have no type of creativity in you, then what are you doing? Why do people look up to you if you're not a creative person? So I'm constantly thinking. I'm constantly putting my mind in the frame of, yo, you know what? I'm going to break this down like a teacher. And that's what I do, The name of my album is called The Wild right now, which is a subliminal message for everything that's going on around us. And if y'all don't see it like that, that's cool, but I see it like that. It's wild out there. Our president, just everything, just the way music has shifted the culture, but it's still happiness involved with it. And that's the beautifulness in it, because there's happiness still. So for me, I just glide, man. I glide with times, and I mature according to my age and according to the people that I'm trying to give this music to.
Just for everybody to know, we call it the Purple Tape because when it came out, you could actually still buy a cassette tape, and it was purple. Right. So just for the youngest out there, but it's so many classic songs on there. I just want you to reflect on one because, there's a lot of, you talk about criminology, talk about incarcerated Scarfaces, you and the whole Wu were really talking about the prison industrial complex, mass incarceration, aggressive policing, things that now in 2017 are big political issues. Back then, it wasn't really a lot of people hearing us. So I wonder do you feel vindicated now that you have like New York Times best-selling books about mass incarceration? You got politicians actually talking about it. You guys have been talking about it for 2 decades. How does it feel now to see that it's actually become like a political issue? Nope, it's on.
It's on, right? You know what it is? It's called being in a neighborhood that teaches you how to survive and use your instincts. So a lot of things that we were saying, we were subjected to those environments, so we had to talk about it. We became that Fat Albert crew in everybody's neighborhood. So when you was getting this from us, you was getting a smart brother here, a wild brother here, a scientist here, a slang master here, and all of us is feeding off of one another because we looking at what's going on around us. And we was the type of group that before we came out, we had knowledge. You know, we was still learning. We was around people that was teaching us stuff. So all of this came into the rhymes because it had to. It had to. And by us saying certain things, because even if you listen to some of the albums, it's like we said that then when, you know, and now it happened. When I tell you it happened so many times, it becomes scary to me because we are young prophets and don't even know it. And a lot of times I may sit around great, you know, professors and ask them questions that I may already know, but they'll say the same thing I'm saying, and it's like you're just saying it different, but it's the same thing. So I think everything happens like that because of the environment of where we come from and how far we willing to go to get out of it. You know, when we rhyme, we make movies. We told y'all that from day one. We an emotional roller coaster crew. We're gonna make you cry. We're going to make you get political. We're going to talk about slang. We're going to bring words out. We're going to dictate what the people is talking about. And that's why people love Wu-Tang so much.
Mm-hmm. When I think back about your whole body of work, it's a lot of like 5% Nation knowledge in there. Right. You converted to Islam. Can you talk about the relationship between the 5% Nation and Islam? I mean, do you feel like that was part of how you came to Islam, or do you feel like they're just two separate pieces?
Well, you know, I don't really like talking about my way of life too much, but I'm gonna share this with you today, you know, and I think it's so important. To me, it's like going to two different schools, and each school is going to teach you something, but it's all about, at the end of the day, what you feel makes sense for you. So I was able to go to both of those schools and still made my decision today to be at the school that I'm at and appreciate the Most High, because I couldn't do nothing without him. That's it. I understand that, you know, but it's something about knowledge that was important to me because we was kids. And we watched the older dudes do what they do. They always had a certain kind of posture about them, always brand new sneakers, chains, rings, showing some kind of growth and success in their life. And for us, it was like, yo, we just wanted to be like that. But a lot of them fell. A lot of them fell according to making bad decisions in their life. So when you see that as a kid, and then you know that school is school. School is the most, you know, it's an important thing to have under your belt. But survival is also an important thing, and having a conscience that makes you think that, you know what, even if I'm wrong, it feels like I'm right. You know? It feels good, and the next thing you know, it really all boils down to what we saying the same thing. It's just how we saying it. You know, I had the opportunity to be around some smart guys, man, and when that knowledge came, it was interesting because I had a lot of questions as a kid. I wanted to know.
Very familiar with the 5%.
Yeah, you know, and it came at a time. It came at a time when, you know, that's what the world needed. They needed knowledge inside of this music, man. When I go home, I listen to Stevie Wonder, man. I listen to Marvin Gaye. I listen to these type of records because in order to be a great one, you got to listen to the great ones. And they talked about everything. They music was about feeling. You know, if you upset or you want to curse your lady out, or you get cursed out, or you going through it, or you want to cry, you know, that's how our ancestors taught us. So some is going to get it. And the ones that got it was the ones that was closer to wanting to know about life. What's going on in life? Let me get off this block, because a lot of dudes don't get off the block. Let's talk about that.
You mentioned Marvin Gaye, and one of the most powerful songs on The Wild is Marvin, which is a tribute to Marvin Gaye that details like the complexities in the relationship with his father. And I just remember when I first listened to it, it brought back, it visualized for me the whole moment of when I first heard about Marvin Gaye getting shot and all of that drama, and it just had such an impact on me. So I wonder, can you talk a little bit about why you made the song and why it's important for us to make sure that we are sharing those stories with the next generation?
When I wrote that song, Marvin, you know, I was around my team, and, you know, we the type of dudes that, like I said, when we not listening to hip-hop, We on some soul music. We enjoying life in our own little way. And certain records always get played because it's something about that energy. A lot of people know me in the game as being a writer. You know, when you hear my albums, I'm making storyboards with it. I'm narrating. So I always make that a signature thing on every album. A story. If I even give you one, I gave it to you. You know, because it's all about just laying out the spectrum of what I'm making and then piecing it. And that record, Marvin, the beat made me say, yo, talk about Marvin.
How'd you decide to get CeeLo on it? How did that process?
The process of getting CeeLo on the record, it was easy. It was like making a tuna fish sandwich. You know, I call him up, yo, I need you. Yo, this is what it is. That's how we talk too, CeeLo, cause you know, everybody like, yo, that's your brother right there. That's you and him, y'all the fly chubby cats and all. I'm like, yeah, you right. But I called him up and his energy was golden and he was like, yo, send the track. But I heard him singing it in my mind. And sometimes as an artist, we tend to hear other people on records. So if it's something that hit my desk and I say, yo, this ain't for me, I'm not the guy to sit here and tuck it. I want to hear that person that I think may kill it. Right. And he just fit the record perfect, but I never knew how he was going to do it. So I just knew that at the end of the day, he was a big fan of Marvin Gaye.
Inspired by Marvin.
You know, this is the South we talking to. So, you know, that made me feel good that he wanted to do the record. I sent it to him. He sent it back in 3 days. Wow. And the hook, I didn't even have to touch it. He didn't have to touch it because I had to give him the lyrics. Right. And when I gave him the lyrics, he knew exactly where to go. Wow. So I didn't even think that record was going to pop on the album the way everybody thought it would pop. You know what I was really thinking about? What? I was thinking about not disappointing Marvin's family. Yes. That's who I was thinking about more than anything, right? This is real, right? You know, because I didn't want to infringe on nobody's being a judge of anybody. I'm just telling the story of a great man. And you know, it was touchy though, but a lot of people love the record. So I'm like, all right, that's 101 y'all need to know, because that's really what happened, you know? And for me, it was, as a kid, it was wild. It was like, oh, your pop shoot you? Like, he really, like, we heard the saying before, you know what I mean? I brought you here, I'll take you out, but that was a lit situation right there, you know? And I heard Marvin was the type of dude that even when he made it, he would still be coming through the neighborhood regular, hat on. You know, everybody wear their hat the way Marvin wear. The legendary, that's Marvin right there. Don't let nobody ever tell you that. When you see somebody wearing their hat like that, that's how he freaked his hat. That's how influential artists are. The things we do, the way we think about life. And I just had to talk about him because the beat was like, talk about Marvin.
I just got a couple more questions here. Most people assume that Ghost is your number one collaborator, like they're your best collaborator. Talk a little bit about who are your favorite people to collaborate with. Who, if you had to rank, I don't want to get you in no trouble, but if you had to rank your collaborators, how would you rank like your top 3 collaborators over the course of your career?
Wow. I mean, it's not even really hard for me to answer that because I love rhyming with my brother. Like, it's just something about us. We funny, we smart, we in our own world. We got character, charisma. We know how to sell. We, you know, and then we laugh a lot too because, you know, everybody in the crew, they always have their own, you know, guy that they hang out with more and they relate to. For me and Ghost, it grew to that. The music, from the music to even today as friends, it's like he may do something that gets me upset, but it's like I'll be mad as hell. But then when I see him, be like, yo, I love you, kid. Like, everything just flew out the window, and I'll be mad at myself because I'm like, yo, I let him get away with it. But it's more genuine now. But far as, you know, rhyming with some of the greats, I touched a few people, you know, that I wanted to touch. And at the end of the day, I also extended my hand because that's how the game's supposed to go. You know, I'm one of those guys that happen to have the relationship with the young and the new and the old. So I balance all that. And it's genuine. It's not forced.
Rank them?
I can't. You know what I mean? I can't, because you know, at the end of the day, we still got pillars to create still. You know, but he's definitely there. You know, if put it like this: if I had to put my money on this horse, I gotta go to him, because I know that what me and him did, we did it together. It was organic. It was from scratch. Ghost will tell you, yo, he'll tell me, yo, Ray, you taught me how to rhyme. And I tell him, you my favorite rapper for some reason. And we really mean it. It's not, you know what I mean? Because we challenge ourselves lyrically. We talk about things, and like we said, when we talking about it, we have time to digest it, but we don't think everybody's gonna get it. So you know what? You gotta learn to get it. The same way when I first heard Rakim's album, I had to learn to get it. I had to check out his mind and see where he was at.
Talk a little bit about like how you see it going forward into the future.
Well, the predictions that we was making back then, when we was saying Wu-Tang forever, we kind of already realized that we conquered so much land in a great way with our music, and it transcended to so many different cultures of people. So we already, touring and everything, you know, it's like we're here forever because the people said it now. The people is dictating what they see in us. So now when you look at it today, it's like, okay, boom, we doing what we supposed to do, and we did something great in the world. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So whatever happens from here on, we did our job. But to me, I'm still a young cat, still growing. I'm still building them bricks, like trying to make it, you know, and not going beyond who I am, just knowing what I've accomplished, you know. And I tell anybody, dreams is right around the corner. Dreams is in another room. Dreams is right in front of you. It's just about you wanting to still dream and turn those dreams into reality. That's all it is. That's what we done. And, you know, it's still shocking. I'm still sitting here saying, yo, 97, when that album came out, yo, yeah, Wu-Tang forever. Yeah, we are forever. We are. We did what the unexplainable gonna explain. So, and I talk about it all the time. I tell people, yo, you will probably get this one again. You probably can get that, but getting another Wu-Tang Clan, I don't know about that one. I don't know. That's gonna be real difficult to get, but it's just all about living, man. Live life, man. Live life, ask questions, and be genuine and humble and real and vocal and proud and black. Me. I'm Ali. I'm Tyson. I'm Jack Dempsey. You know? I'm Al Capone too, baby. Yeah, you know, but all together, man, it's just about making great music, man. Being a part of this culture.
Long time, brother.
And it feel like this much right there.
Right.
It's all good, no doubt.
Right. Thank you, brother.
Good Jules, good
Appreciate
Jules. You got it,
No
man.
doubt.
You sound good out there. Yo, check it out, y'all. What's the deal? This is Raekwon the Chef, man, and you rocking right now in the Heineken Green Room. Hold it down. Yes, sir. What up?